today's lesson, we're going to talk about bends. We're going to try to avoid some of those bends that we often do. You know, the bending from the minor seventh to the root, or the minor third to the fourth. We do it all the time. If we were to be zapped whenever we played one of these notes bended, gosh, we'd be zapped a lot. So in this video, we're going to try to come up with creative ways to still use the awesome bending technique, but target different notes and just approach it a little bit differently. Why? You'll discover why right after this. Hi, my name is David Wallerman. Welcome to this channel, which is all about helping guitar players around the world find their unique voice on the instrument to develop their own personal musical story. If you knew that already, well, you've been following the channel for a little while. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you being here. And today we're going to look at bends, and we're going to work with a cool backing track in G minor pentatonic. This is a blues, typical blues, minor blues in G minor pentatonic. You can grab the backing track below. The first line of the comment section will lead you to a page where you can enter your email so that I can send you that backing track right away. All right, so let's talk about the problem first. The problem, and you know what? I'm going to use the problem cam right here. The problem with those types of bends is that they're overheard. They sound great. There's nothing really wrong with them, but they are very expected. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't play expected, because if you only played original things, the listener wouldn't really relate to what you're saying. We like to recognize things. That's why we listen to the same songs over and over. That's why we get into bad habits too, because the human nature is to find comfort in recognizable things. So there's nothing wrong with these bends, but they're kind of overheard, and we're going to try to step away from that for a little bit. So what are those bends I'm talking about? I'm talking really not necessarily about intervals that are played or pitches, but I'm talking about comfort. You know, when you play, we tend to gravitate around comfort zones, right? And that explains why, if we're in G in this case, most of you, if you played over a backing track in G like this, a G minor blues, you'd probably start in that position right here. I did it there, the famous lick, right? But that zone of the fretboard, that slice, not super clean, sorry about that. But right here, that's on the fretboard, that slice, that's the first position of the minor pentatonic scale. Why do we gravitate around it? Well, typically it's the first position we learn. It's a very simple position, 2 notes per strings. And the very first note that we play is that magnet note, the root. So visually, it's easy to picture that root on the first string that your eyes see, which is the low E string, and then find that root and play that, right? Nothing wrong with that, but because we are so used to that position, we are, when we bend, going to tend to bend the easy notes to bend, which are typically notes that are on the right side from your perspective here, not the left side, but the right side. Because if we target notes on the right side, like for instance, the third string, 5th fret, which is a very bendable note, we would bend it with the ring finger. That's the finger that plays that comfortably, and we can help that ring finger with the middle and the index below, so it's easier and we can really grab the guitar like that. So that explains why we go for the easy route, and that often results in, yes, the same pitch being heard, which in the context of a minor pentatonic scale is the 4th to the 5th. We're targeting the 5th, which is fine. It sounds totally fine. Again, but how many solos start with that? How many solos gravitate around that 5th? I could say the same thing with this note, which happens to be the minor 7th. We can bend this, again, because of comfort zones. And that's the minor 7th to the root. All right, so that kind of explains why we do it, right? Because of comfort. Now we're going to break that a little bit, and that might result in new ideas. To do this, because we're in G, which is kind of a low position for the first one, the first slice, I'm going to make my job a little bit easier. I'm going to transpose that an octave higher to this slice. 12 frets higher will be an octave higher. So now instead of having this position, which which is the first position of the minor pentatonic scale. In G, we'd have this one, same exact shape. So that's 18, 15, 18, 15, 17, 15, 17, 15, 17, 15, 18, 15, 18. And we're going to try to avoid those comfort zones. So to do that, we're going to play in that zone, right? The first position of G minor pentatonic, but instead of bending notes that are on the right side from your perspective, we'll work on notes that are on the left side. So that means if I were to bend the third string within that position, that would be the 15th fret bended to the 17th. Now, because of the way my fingers fall here, I'll show you the close-up right here. Love this switching thing, live switching. It's so easy. What I can do here is, instead of using my index finger, which is the finger that falls naturally here, I can do that, but see, that's what you want to avoid. Having oh, that slips. Oh no, that doesn't sound good. So what you can do is have a quick shift. So I am using the ring finger, which is the finger that likes to bend things because it can help itself with the middle and index. Once I'm here, I can do a quick slide 2 frets down and do that bend. And if I develop that with my improv using that kind of concept, I can find interesting ideas. I could do that with other notes as well. Now this one, it's quite a large bend to reach that next note. Now you might say that really eventually I'm going to still target those notes, like the 4th to the 5th, the minor 7th to the root. Yes, it's true, but it's going to sound a little bit different, not in pitch, but in the execution of these ideas, because it's a little more uncomfortable. And when you are not relying on those comfort zones, new things come out, new imperfections that really make something quite unique and really enjoyable. If the music is too perfect, the execution is too perfect, well, you're kind of lacking maybe the soul behind things. And you can see that everywhere when I'm talking to you. Well, it's not perfect. You know, there's some words that I mispronounce here and there, quite a bit, according to some of the comments. There's a lot of things that I'm not doing perfectly, obviously, but that kind of makes who I am, my character. You could say the same thing with the face of a person you're attracted to. If you really analyze it, what you're really attracted to is not the perfection. It's those little imperfections that make that person really stand out to you. Same with music. All right, so the backing track that I was playing over is available for you so that you can practice this. And I also included a PDF sheet with those notes that I suggest you bend. Try it. Explore new things like that and see what comes up. It's free. The link is below in the first line of the comment. Download that so that you can work on this lesson. And I want to thank you again for sticking with me through the years of doing these videos. I really appreciate you guys, and thank you so much for everything. Share this around if you think someone might benefit from it. And if this was your first visit, you should consider subscribing if you liked what you saw, because Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, a new video comes out, just like this one. Helping guitar players like you find your unique voice on the instrument, develop it to tell your own personal, imperfect, yet beautiful musical story. Thanks for watching this. I'll see you very soon. Practice well.